As a student of economics, you all must be familiar with the concept of demand and supply. What is demand? Someone is thinking that demand is only the willingness to buy. Means I want to buy chocolate, that is my demand. But that's not right. Demand is when there is willingness to buy and also ability to pay. I have the price to pay for that chocolate, and next I am ready to buy at that price. What is the price of chocolate? At that price I am ready to buy, and at that time also, within a given period of time. Then that willingness is known as demand. It involves willingness to buy, ability of a consumer to pay for that commodity, the price at the given level of price of that commodity, and given period of time. That will be called as demand. There are many factors which determine the demand, such as price of that commodity. If the price of that chocolate is much high, I will not willing to buy that commodity. Okay, I am not able to buy that commodity. If the price is low, I will surely buy. Price of related goods. What are the related goods? Substitute and complements. There is one chocolate, I am willing to buy that chocolate, but when I went to that shop, the person is saying that it costs Rs 100. I'm worried, why should I spend that 100 rupees on this chocolate? There is other chocolate also present there of same flavor but of different company. I shift my demand up to that chocolate, and that cost me Rs 70. So why? That was it. Substitute. Substitute means I can replace my chocolate demand up to that chocolate demand. Like tea and coffee. When the price of tea rises, we shift our demand to coffee. When price of coffee rises, we shift our demand to tea. So there is complements also. Complements means the goods which we are using together. Like I can say that left shoe and right shoe, they both are complements. If the price of shoe rises, means left shoe rises, I can't buy only right shoe, I have to buy left shoe also because I have 2 feet. In the same case, I can tell you one more example, that is pen and ink. When price of ink rises, automatically the price of pen will also rises. The combined price will rise. So complements are those goods which can be used together. We can't substitute ink for pen or pen for ink, its body for ink or the ink for its body. We can use them together. Complements are like our both shoes that we can use together. Like if the price of petrol rises, demand for car also fall, because now petrol is more expensive. People are thinking that they can't afford more petrol. Okay, complements are those goods which can be used together. Taste and preference. Taste and preference means I like vanilla but I don't like mango. I will not consume mango for its less price because I like vanilla. That is taste and preference. Next, weather. Weather is that in the hot weather I will not prefer warm clothes. So weather also determine our demand. Income of the consumer. If my income is low, I will not spend it on useless things like chocolates, etc. I will buy any meaningful things. But if my income is high, I will spend more on other things too. So in the case of income, we simply divide goods among two categories, normal and inferior good. What are the normal goods and what are the inferior goods? Let's take the example of our necessities of life. Means food is our basic necessity. In the case of normal good, we are consuming wheat. What is its inferior goods? Bajra. Okay, wheat and bajra. Let's suppose wheat is our normal goods and bajra is our inferior goods. If my income is good, I can afford wheat, I will consume wheat. That is my normal good. But if I am poor, I don't have much to spend, I will have to consume bajra, and that is inferior good. Okay. Next is expectations. Expectations of a person about near future. I'm a person who want to buy washing machine. So I am expecting that its price is going to fall in near future. So I will not buy it today. I will buy in future when the prices will be low. But if I am expecting that its price is going to rise in near future, so I will buy it today itself, because I don't want to buy it on that much high price. So these are all factors which determine the demand of commodity X. Price of X, price of related goods, and income of the consumer, taste and preference, expectation for the future change in price. Now what is demand and quantity demanded? When we say that, when we consider the demand of a product in other factors term than price, we are not considering price, we are considering other factors like substitutes, complements, weather, income, etc. Then that time we will say that it is demand. But when we consider the demand of a commodity in the terms of its price, we can say that it is quantity demanded. So here on y axis there is price, and x axis there is quantity demanded. Not demand, here is quantity demanded, because it is in the terms of price. Okay. Next, individual demand and market demand. Individual demand means demand of a particular individual in a economy or in a society or in a country, anything. Demand of a single individual is known as individual demand. Like here consumer A, its demand, and here is consumer B, its demand. But in the case of market demand, it is macro concept. Individual demand is micro concept, but market demand is macro concept. Here the demand of all individuals in the society. Let's suppose there are only two individuals in the society. For simplicity, we are assuming that there are only two individuals in the society. So we are considering the summation of their demand will be as market demand, the demand of all the consumers in a society. It is also known as horizontal summation of individual demand. Market demand is also known as horizontal summation of individual demand. Why is this so? Let's consider. At price 10, A want to buy 5 commodity while B want to buy 4 commodity. So at price 20, A want to buy 2 commodity and B want to buy 1 commodity. While we are considering their market demand, we will add up this. At price 10, they want to buy 5 plus 4 equals to 9, and at price 20 they want to buy 2 plus 1 equals to 3. So this is known as their horizontal summation. Okay, understood? Why individual demand is known as why market demand is known as horizontal summation of individual demand? Look, here it is very steep and this is also steep. When we add up these both curves, then we get a flatter line. It is the horizontal summation of these both lines. Next, law of demand. What is law of demand? Ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus means remaining all the factors remain constant. When the price of a commodity will rise, its demand will fall. When price of a commodity will rise, its demand will fall, and vice versa, means when price will fall, its demand will rise. Remaining all other things means other factors like taste and preference of the consumer, and income, future expectation, price of related goods, that all things will remain constant. Then we can say that when price will increase, its demand will decrease. When price will decrease, its demand will increase. This is law of demand, which is given by Alfred Marshall. So assumptions are very important, as I already told you in the previous lecture. For creating the suitable environment for formulation of any theory, for creating a preferable environment, we are formulating some assumption. Taste and preference remain constant, no change in income, price of related goods remain constant, no expectation for the changes in price, means I don't know if price will change in future or not, or it will decrease or increase in future or not. So this is known as law of demand. Now, exceptions of law of demand. Exception of law of demand are those exceptions in which the law of demand fails. Like we are saying that there is negative relationship between price and quantity demanded, price and quantity demanded. So our demand curve will be downward sloping. In the case of exceptions of law of demand, this law fails, so our demand will be upward sloping. This show positive relationship between price and quantity demanded. When price rise, quantity demand will also rise. When price fall, quantity demanded is also fall. When this happen? In the case of articles of social distinction, which is given by Professor Veblen, articles or social distinctions are those articles which distinct us, which make us distinct, some ordinary from the rest of the society. For example, if all have Oppo phones or Redmi phones, I prefers to have Samsung phones. Okay, this make me distinct. Whether the price of these products are low but this is high, still I am demanding this because I don't want to be like others. I want to be a extraordinary person. Okay, in those case, article of social distinction which make us distinct from the rest of the society. Next is giffen goods. It is giffen goods, not griffin goods. Giffen goods are those inferior goods, special kinds of inferior goods whose demand will not decrease when their price will rise. For example, I am consuming meat and wheat. When the price of wheat will rise. Suppose I was consuming 7 units of wheat and 5 units of meat. Now if the price of this wheat rises, I am able to consume only 5 units. But it is not as per my requirements. I want more. So I will shift some units from here to here. Now I will consume only 2 units of meat and I will add up here to increase it to 7. Even though it is cheaper than meat, but if its price will rise to meet its requirement, I will cut down the consumption of meat and I will increase its consumption. So look here, what happened? The price of meat rise and again the demand of wheat as compared to the meat will rise because it is a staple food. It is the basic requirements of our life. We can live without meat because meat something very expensive. We can't afford this much that we eat only meat, so we have to eat wheat, but that also we have to require in a particular amount. We can't decline our consumption, so we shift from meat to wheat, and this was an inferior good. Its price rise, again its demand is rise. Understood? There is Giffen paradox. Giffen paradox, what? When price high, demand high. When price low, demand low. Why it is known as giffen goods? Giffen goods because this is given by one person named Sir Thomas Giffen, and paradox means something which is opposite. It is opposite to law of demand. When price rise, demand fall. In this case, when price rise, demand rise. So it is just opposite. This is paradox. It is known as Giffen paradox. Next, consumer determine the quality of a product on the base of its price. For example, I am going to buy one bag. One cost Rs 1000 and same but of different company or something differentiated, that is 500. I judge that this bag may be high quality than this because it is more expensive. So people are judging the quality of a product on the basis of its price. So its price is high, then also I want this bag because I am preferring the more quality product. In that case, when more price, then people will saying that more quality is there, so they will demand more. In that case, our demand curve will be upward sloping. We can say that here the law of demand fails. Let's we discuss the extraction and contraction of demand. Extension and contraction of demand. What is extension and contraction of demand? Look, when our price was 10, initial level our price was 10, our demand was 20, but when price rise up to 15, our demand declined to 10. It means contraction. Our demand contract, move backward. The demand move backward. This is the sign of contraction. When price rises, demand falls. It is known as contraction when we are considering in the terms of price. our quantity demanded. And here, look what happened here. In this case, our initial price was 10, then it moves downward to 5. Initial price was 10, then the quantity demanded was 20, but suddenly the price fell down up to 5. Our demand increase. Now here is increment in demand. We denote by this arrow. Increase in demand, it moves from this point to this point. In that case, it moves from this point to that point, but here from this point to this point, there is increment in demand by 5 units. We can say that it is extension. This is extension and contraction. Extension and contraction of the demand, quantity demanded, because extension and contraction is only possible in the case of price. Extension and contraction is only possible in the case of price. When we are saying that increase and decrease in demand, that means we are considering other factors. Look here, the price is 10. The price is 10. There is no increase or decrease in price. The price remain constant, but the income of the consumer rises. So we start to consume more. It means that our demand curve will shift at same price. Our demand curve will shift at same price and move rightward. It moves rightward. When there is increase in income, it will move rightward. When there will be decrease in income, it will be move leftward at the same level of price. We can say that this phenomena as increase and decrease in demand, increase and decrease in demand, or the taste or preference of the consumer changes. If our taste influence more demand, means we start to consume it more, then it will shift rightward. If we move to any other product as per its taste, it will move to the left. So it causes increase and decrease in demand. Now understood the basic difference between extension and contraction, increase and decrease. When we are considering other factors other than price, so there will be increase or decrease in demand.